Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us to discuss some of our favorite books that you can request at your library. Part of a job of a children's librarian is giving recommendations which can be used by our users. During these difficult times, parents and children can't physically browse our shelves to find new and interesting titles, but they can request them online and pick up at the branch for curbside service. The purpose of this program is to give some great reading recommendations for parents that are available for checkout at our branches. Today, we'll be discussing silly or funny picture books. Ashley, do you want to introduce yourself and let us know what any virtual programs you're doing?
Sure. My name is Ashley Green. I'm a children's librarian based at Fig Garden. I cover the West Side. And I am doing story time right now on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30. It's only going on for 2 more weeks, and then we're going to take a break, though.
Yeah.
We also have take and make crafts that people can come and pick up.
And my name is Eric Dunnacliffe. I am out of the North Fresno branches, mainly out of Woodward Park Library, and then also the Leoplete Branch Library and the Pinedale Library. I'm also doing some take-home crafts, and I'm doing the Friday virtual story time for preschoolers, and that is at 10:30. You can register online for either me or Ashley's story times. And I'm also, one of my coworkers is a really good sketch artist. So we're going to be doing November 18th as our next program on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock, I believe. Some sketch drawing that you can do virtually through Zoom. Let's go ahead and start with a quote today. There's really no trivia for like silly or funny books. It's kind of a fact-free subject. So I wanted to start with a quote with who I think is one of the best modern day sort of silly, funny picture book authors, which is, of course, Mo Willems. Every book, oh wait, let me share that for us. Okay. Every book is a question I don't know the answer to. And I figure it's a good question, that it's a universal question. I don't want my books to be read. I want them to be played. The idea is that you're engendering creativity. Reading is great, but it's ultimately a form of consumption. What I want is after they read the book for the kid to say, I've got an idea. Don't let the pigeon operate the cannabolt. Don't let the pigeon audit my neighbor. And then they go out and infringe on my copyright, and then they make their own stories, and that's awesome. When I think about picture books and like what makes kids enjoy them, I think of that quote right there.
Yeah. And his, he's referencing the pigeon books right there. He has an app for the pigeon, the Don't Let the Pigeon Run This app, and it's really fun for kids. Have you ever played with it?
I haven't, not that one in particular, but yeah, I could see that being a lot of fun.
Because they have like 3 different versions where like it just reads you the book or which is I think the original one, and then another one where like you can you start the story and then it gives you like multiple choice and you pick what you want to be in the story. And then it's got a third version for like older kids that like you get to press a button and record and put your own idea into it. And
Cool.
All these different levels. And then they also teaches you how to draw pigeon. I'll like pick up my iPad and they'll be like, and then it saves them automatically, of course. So I'll like pick up my iPad and there's like 10 versions of pigeon saved into my photos. I'm like, where did this come from? Anyway, it's very fun, but yeah, it lets them be creative and they're like, ooh, this would be funny.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna just start with my Mo Willems and then I'll bounce it off to you, Ashley. Mm-hmm. But yeah, some of my favorites, I think this is one of his earlier works, Edwina, the dinosaur who didn't know she was extinct, which totally fits this category. It's about a dinosaur who lives in a town with people and who just happens to be a T-Rex who's just like a sweet old grandma who bakes chocolate chip cookies. It's kind of like the most ridiculous dinosaur possible. And then there's a little boy who's kind of like the antagonist, who's just like, dinosaurs don't exist. Edwina cannot exist, and is out to prove that Edwina does not exist. And it's a fantastic book about, you know, logic versus just imagination kind of deal, and how you kind of find the common ground. I love that one. And I've been picking books that I think are fantastic because if you read them out loud, you get kids laughing and enjoying them. You know,
Yeah.
because they're just hilarious books. And sometimes, you know, how you read them can really and get it. These are the books that really allow you to go full blown, just having fun as a storyteller.
Yeah.
We're in a Book is another fantastic. This is my favorite Elephant Piggy, but any Elephant Piggy book really fits this category. But I think this one's absolutely fantastic. It's kind of your metafiction book where the characters realize they're literary characters in a book, and it starts out them just having tons of fun with that reality. But then they hit a point where Gerald, the neurotic pig, realizes that books end. And it goes from just funny, silly to the ultimate existential dread of realizing. And that kind of goes in what I love about Mo Williams's quote. It's like, these are real questions. These are real issues that are, you have at 5, 50, or 100. And he deals with the issue in a very, child-friendly way, and kind of deals with the issue, but also encourages reading and its solution. Do you have any titles to start with?
Yes. So I've got one that I have many. I've got Monsters of the Undead,
Yes. Which
is very funny.
Yeah. Who's the author again on that one?
This one is Samantha Berger.
Mm-hmm.
I think she also wrote that book on Splat, where you like flip it and it splats, which is also
okay.
My nephew loved that one.
Yeah.
But this kids love anything to do with underwear.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to do with underwear. And this one, the whole thing rhymes, so it's fun, and it's about a monster who he has his favorite underwear, and they're a little bit ratty, and so he has to go get new underwear, and he doesn't want to, and his mom's making him. So it's just like the whole thing rhymes. It's really fun. I love reading that for story time. And to keep
it's 3-year-old edgy.
And then we've got another one that kids love.
Yeah.
Which is I Need a New Butt.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Especially
a kid who has
3-year-old edgy.
That he has a crack in his butt, and so clearly it's broken. He needs to replace it. And it's very silly. It's ridiculous, and kids love it.
Yeah.
Do you have any others? More too.
Well, let me go off of that one. I've out of that kind of category of just almost gross out, kind of just 3-year-old edgy kind of humor. This one's fantastic. It's Who Wet My Pants? And I love the byline. It's not the crime, it's the cover up. So, every kid has dealt with, what? It happens.
Yeah.
You wet your pants.
Days where like you can see that they've wet their pants.
Yeah.
And you ask them, did you wet your pants? And they tell you no.
Yeah. But that's what's so great about this book is it's the idea this bear has wet his pants, and he assumes someone else has wet his pants. And it's clever because he's in part of a troop, kind of like the Boy Scouts kind of deal. And he goes around and he starts blaming everybody else, but they're like, it's okay. It happens to all of us. It's not a big deal. So it's one of just completely silly titles.
Very fun.
Go ahead with another one if you have it.
I have The Magic Word by Mac Barnett, who is another like grand poobah of funny children's pictures and just literature in general. And this one is about a boy. He's right here.
Yeah.
He figures out a magic word. It's alakazumba. That will grant any wish that he makes. So anytime he says alakazumba, whatever he wants. And so it gets a little and then he learns some lessons, but it's very fun.
Yeah, it's great. What would a child do with endless wishes?
My favorite part is when this walrus shows up.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very silly.
And what I love, the illustrator is also in her own right a fantastic, silly author. The way, like, you see the little boy there. His facial expression is just. She has so much fun just drawing characters that are just their facial expressions are just.
Yeah, if you look like you've got this like butler.
Yeah.
Like posh looking, and someone who's like she's a little bit annoyed.
So I actually have a Mac Barnett. He's actually he's not an illustrator, so he partners with a lot of great illustrators, and I have one where he partners with Adam Rex.
Oh, I love Adam Rex.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember no, I don't think I have any other Adam Rex ones, but yeah, he's fantastic. This one's my go-to if I have like a first or second grade and I need just to keep them engaged. But this is the thing. Before, there's a drawback to this book a bit, that doesn't, and part of the reason why it's not like such a big hit is it's a read one book, because the book pranks the reader. So it only works once, but this is fantastic to read in front of a group. I usually have to ask before I read it if anybody's read it before, because they're going to shout the answer because they've read it. So I'll have to do the first one just to give you an idea. So you see an outline of what it should be. He steals carrots from the neighbor's yard. His hair is soft. His teeth are hard. His floppy ears are long and funny. Can you guess who? That's right, and what's the obvious kind of?
Bunny,
of course, but no. It's Grandpa Ned. So it's just, you have like 20, 30 kids shouting out, Bunny. And it's like, no, it's Grandpa Ned.
Yeah.
So that one I love. It's always a riot. And you can do this with older kids because they know how rhyming books go, and it subverts that expectation. And it's just really fun to do.
Yeah. They get all like, what?
The fact that they're all like, no, and then and they start getting it like, okay, this is not going to be, so then they just start yelling out random things by the third or fourth, and it's really fun as a group activity in a sense, in that interaction, what makes it so great. Go ahead and do one and I'll do my last.
I'd really like to eat a child.
Yeah.
By Sylviane Donio. And it's about this little alligator. He's a baby alligator who wakes up one morning and his parents are trying to feed him. And he's like, today I want to eat a child.
Yeah.
They go through all of these like other things that maybe he could eat. And he's like, no, I just want to eat a child. And then it's very funny because in the end, he has an encounter with a child. And like, so I love reading this for story time because like you see them like, oh, is it gonna happen?
How dark is this gonna go?
Anyway, it's very funny.
Yeah.
And I like this one a lot.
Yeah. I'll do, this one's great, and it really depends on, as a storyteller and the storyteller's performance. So I have a lot of fun with this one. Moo by David LaRoche. How you spell that? Rochelle?
Rochelle?
Yeah. And Mike, oh gosh. Wonatka. I apologize. I can't read it. People can see it, hopefully. But Moo. It's a single word book, and there's a couple titles like this, but the entire book is just from the point of view of the cow who decides he's going to go for a joyride in the farmer's car, which he's trying to sell, and mischief and adventure, bounds. Yeah, and it's fun because the moo gets how you pronounce the moo changes throughout the book. Is it moo or is it moo? So yeah, as a storyteller, how much interaction you put into it is really makes it an enjoyable book.
I have one more.
All right, cool.
It says piranhas don't eat bananas.
Yeah.
This is by Aaron Blabey, who like most of the stuff that he does is very funny. I like Don't Call Me Bear as well. He's got a koala. And this one is about a piranha who likes to eat fruit, and all of the other piranhas are not having it. And so it just he keeps trying to get them to eat fruit, and they're like, piranhas don't eat bananas. And anyway, it's very funny. The whole thing rhymes, and it's like my nephews really enjoy this. Like,
what I love about it is there's
over and over.
Yeah. You see that you kind of open it up. I think there's about midway point, you start seeing like some kid's legs or something. And the feet are just there. And it's just like, will these piranhas just.
Yeah, and it's like silver beet or feet. And so it's like that rhyme. And, peas, knees.
Yeah.
Eventually, you get back to the butts.
Yeah.
Kids love it.
Yeah. And hey, a lot of parents are like, oh, they want those books that are, that teach good moral lessons and are, those are good, but
it's just funny in the process.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I'm surprised. Like what it's really awesome when you have like a book like that, like The Magic Word. I don't want to give away the ending, but he kind of learns why getting your way all the time is not the greatest thing. Yeah. And I love how using that subversion to get a moral lesson in there kind of almost is better than just the moral lesson book, because the kid's so engaged and can understand exactly why that want to always get your way.
Yeah, but I think like the thing about funny books is like it's okay if it's just funny. It's okay. Like it's really important for kids to just read things just for pure enjoyment's sake, and if that happens to be funny, then by all means. Like we don't always have to be doing highbrow stuff. Yeah, like sometimes it is literally okay if you read this 15 times in a row, if it's making them love to read.
Yes. Yeah. And as
you can talk, getting them to read I'll Love You Forever. Like
and as we have our pre-literacy skills, print motivation, the motivation to just pick up a book is one of those 6, and that is always key. I mean, if you can't get the kids to pick up the book, then you're already, the other 5 aren't going to work anyways. So
so giving them what they love, and like reading, if you have to read the same book 15 times, read the same book 15 times. Eventually they'll grow out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'll move on.
An hour and a half with my nephew one night, like just doing the Are You My Monster? Like just, and not even reading it. Like we were flipping through it. Like I would be like, oh, it's my monster is purple with black hair. And then he would flip through it and find the right one. And then he'd be like, mine's orange with this color hair. And we'd flip, like we did it for an hour and a half. there's only like 5 pictures, right?
Yeah.
So it was very repetitious, but it's very important that we do that so that they learn to love this thing and go to it on purpose. Because when they start to read, it's difficult to learn to read.
Mhm.
And so they need that motivation. They need to know that there's something in there that they really love and enjoy.
Yeah.
And so that's why we read these things, these funny things, these silly things that they really love, like the wonky donkey and the dinosaur who pooped a planet. Like they love them.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
Just do it. You can worry about the, bougie stuff later on. Because it's also good and it's also important. But if they don't love to do it in the first place, you're not going to get them there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, let's end on that. So thank you guys for watching. Though our library buildings are closed, we're offering curbside services for our branches. Check out our website for our curbside hours for your branch. Just go to www.fresnolibrary.org and make sure to like our Facebook page and please share with your friends. Bye.